everybody, and welcome to Let the Good Times Roll cooking show. This week we received a request from Jane for Eric's macaroni and cheese recipe, but he doesn't have a recipe. So instead, he's going to show you how
I wrote it down, so I do have something.
how he makes his macaroni and cheese. And here's Eric.
Okay. So this isn't exactly like a blue zone food. This is like comfort food. Macaroni and cheese isn't something you're going to eat every day, but I'm going to make it from scratch. This isn't the kind of stuff you eat at your dorm room for 39 cents out of the box. So macaroni and cheese is basically just a cheese sauce over pasta, and then you put in whatever you want to go with it. And then there's a topping that goes on the end, at the end, and we brown that. So I'm going to start with butter, a couple tablespoons of butter, some shallots, get those going, and then I'll make a roux with flour here. So it's like 3 tablespoons of butter, I don't know, 1/4 cup of shallots, 2 tablespoons of flour. So it's like a thin roux. And then the liquid is, there's chicken stock, cream, milk, there's 2.5 cups of that, and that will then get thickened by this, and then you add the cheese and the spices. The spices are a little bit of paprika, what else is in here? White pepper, and nutmeg, a little bit of nutmeg. So the process is, get these shallots browned a little bit. I'll put in the flour, the spices, put in the liquid, and then actually the spices, to prevent it from clumping, what I'll do is put a little bit of sherry, like 2 tablespoons of, this is Amontillado sherry. Stir that up, and it helps prevent it from clumping when you dump it in, so you don't get pockets of like white pepper or something like that. Okay, so let's put in the flour.
Turn the pan so we can see it.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the fan off here so you can hear me too. Alright, there's that. Put the spices in. Get some nice color. And it thickens up right away. And then I'm kind of on lower heat now, and I'll add the chicken stock, cream, milk. You can add it slowly or all at once. I don't think it really makes a whole lot of difference, because in the end it all gets emulsified when you mix it in. So this will be the cheese sauce, and then you can make this, set it aside, and next do the macaroni. So that's what we'll do. And my cheese mix, by the way, so I've got about 1/2 pound of cheddar, about 1/4 pound of white American cheese, and then about 1/4 pound of blue cheese. So even if you don't really like blue cheese, put it in anyway, because it adds a depth and richness that you would miss otherwise, I think. And this is gorgonzola. You can use like cambozola or something like that, but not a lot of it, just enough to give it some flavor. So you get this to a boil, and then we'll add the cheese, and then we'll come back and do the macaroni. So we'll take a break here. So the roux is boiled now, so you can see it's thickened up quite a bit. And then what I'll do is put in the cheese and then take it off the heat, because you don't really want to boil it with the cheese in there, because it'll kind of curdle or coagulate. So I turned off the heat. And now just sort of incorporate the cheese into the roux. Alright, so I'll finish this up. I'll get the macaroni going, and then we'll add the macaroni to this in just a few more minutes. See you then. Okay, so now we're just going to cook the pasta. These are elbow macaroni, about 1/4 pound I'm sorry, quarter kilo, half a pound, 2 cups, whatever. Put it into salted boiling water. It just stopped boiling. And it's supposed to be about 7 minutes al dente, so I'm going to do 6 minutes. I want it a little bit on the underdone side because then you mix it with the cheese sauce and then finish it in the oven. So it'll cook a little bit more after this. Alright, back in 6 minutes.
Okay, we're back and the macaroni is done. And
so yeah, the macaroni's done. It's a little bit chewy still. So I drained it well all over the floor here. And now I'm going to add it to the sauce. And it seems like at first there's always too much sauce, but it'll all absorb. So don't worry that it looks like it's too much up front. So I'm going to stir that in, and then I'm going to stir in also the optional ingredients. This time I happen to have bacon and ham. So this is bacon chunks, about a cup maybe, and about 6 ounces of ham cubes. We're out of peas, so no peas today, but those are going otherwise. And just mix a little bit. And then we'll move on to the topping. Let's do that right now. So the topping is, this is maybe a cup of grated Parmigiano, and then about a similar amount, a cup or so of panko breadcrumbs. So somewhere I've got olive oil here. So you mix that together, drizzle over, I don't know, maybe a quarter cup of olive oil, something like that, and mix it all together. And it kind of clumps a little bit. Maybe a little bit more oil. There. So this will then go on top once we put it into the baking dishes for the oven. Alright, so that's what it should look like. It's just panko, Parmigiano, and olive oil. Alright, so we'll take a quick break and then we'll do the final step in the oven. Okay, so here's the finished sauced macaroni with all the stuff in it. Instead of making one giant casserole or whatever, I'm going to split this into a couple of cazuelas. So these are 7-inch just earthenware dishes. So I'll put about half of it into that one. These are buttered dishes. Alright, then we're going to finish it in the oven. So there's that. And then I'll put the topping on. So this is that panko Parmesan mixture that we just did. Probably have a little bit too much, so maybe you can cut back on that. Alright, so I'll sprinkle it evenly over the top. And then it just goes in the oven for, really, I would put it royal or in a regular oven. You don't want it to like bake a whole lot more, just kind of brown the top. So I've got the oven at about 500. We'll turn up the burner on the top and toss them in and give them about 2 minutes, and then we'll be ready to go.
roll 'em.
Alright, so these are pretty well browned. That didn't take long in a hot oven. So I'm just going to pop one up here into the dome a little bit, get it nice and finished. And there you go. Here's one. There's two.
macaroni and cheese. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to eat it. So here you go, Jane. Thanks to Jane for requesting the macaroni and cheese recipe. Now we just have to enjoy it. Thanks for watching, everybody.